Well, good afternoon. It's good to be here. This is sort of one of the things that I look forward to as we start the season off. I talked to Doug. He talked about what the year would entail and what would be expected of me, and obviously racing is a big part of that. But one of his first items on his list was his Corvette bash here. So it's for me one of the milestones since obviously Sebring, first race for the team, but then this was sort of next on my list. So it's great to be here and meet a lot of people that support us as a racing team and really give us. I mean, for me, it's I have fun on the racetrack. For sure, it's a great job. I can't complain. There's no question about that. But for us, it's great to kind of put on a show. And it's great to have a great fan base like you guys too. I've already talked to 15, 20 people here today, and almost all of you have mentioned something about the racing program and watching the races. So it makes me feel good to know that when I put on a good show, which I have fun doing, it's great that I'm putting on a show for all of you as well. I spent for me, I'm 25 years old, born in Washington D.C. To be driving for Corvette racing. For an American icon like Corvette is something very special to me, for sure. And when I got the phone call at the end of last year from Doug, he said that they wanted me to test the car. There was no question in my mind right away. I knew that was a phenomenal opportunity. With all the success that they've had, as I look at all these pictures on the walls here and in the plant and everything, you see all the history that Corvette has in Le Mans, has here in the U.S. And something that I've watched. I've watched them, watch the cars at Daytona, the 24 hours with Earnhardt Sr. and Jr. When see that and see the history that they have and here in the U.S. and their success they've had at Le Mans. So to be a part of that program, to be the American on the racing team, really means a lot to me. So I'm having a lot of fun. I mean, these guys, Danny and Doug and everyone on the team, they from the very first test that I came to, it made me feel like I was part of the team. And for me, that's important for sure, because I spend a lot of my days at the racetrack with these guys, and I got to feel comfortable with these guys. And literally the first 5 minutes that I was there, I felt like this was home. I felt like this is where I felt comfortable here, and it just makes my life that much easier when I drive these cars. And push the limits, going 150, 160 miles an hour to know that I've got a great group of guys that are building my cars and know that the car every time on the racetrack is the best it can be, is priceless. So, thanks Dan, thanks Doug. So far this year, as Doug said a little bit, I spent the last 2 years basically chasing the Corvettes in the BMW, and now I'm in the Corvette, so that's a great feeling as it is. But unfortunately, they somehow found a little speed in the off season, and now I'm chasing my ex-girlfriend, so to speak. So we'll definitely catch them. There's no question. We've already seen at Long Beach in Sebring they were quick, and we could match their pace in the daytime, and in the evening they got some speed on us. We couldn't quite contend there at the end, which was. We had a perfect run. We had no problems, no issues. Great run. Ended up third, which for me, in some ways, I was happy about that. With my first race with the team, I was for sure a little bit nervous. My first race with the team, and I have a lot of people watching me, and I have big shoes to fill here at Corvette Racing. So my first stint at Sebring, I was happy to just get in the car, get it out of the way, and then from then on, I could just sort of do my thing. So. By the end of Sebring, I felt comfortable in the car. I felt really, like I could, really push the limits. And for a while there, I was chasing down the big bubbles for a little bit, and then we lost just a little bit of speed, just enough. Our racing's so close that it's down to tenths of a second now. And there's just a couple of tenths that we lost in the evening. Made it a bit harder for us to really challenge for the win there. But again, I would say satisfied with third, but we're here to win, and that's all the effort that we put into, these guys put into these cars, and all the development and everything. And as I was here yesterday for a little bit and got to see some of the plant, And you hear, you can see the integration that the production side has with the racing team, and you see that how much work they go into and how much effort they spend on the streetcar side. That the racing says, hey, we can really use this one thing and another, and they build that into the streetcar, makes your streetcars better, but also makes our race cars better. So this isn't just a one-year thing where okay, this is our car for the year. You can tell this is our Corvette, our C6 car this year is built on years and years and years of experience and designing, and we don't come here to finish third, we come here to win. And so for me, third place, okay, it's happy first race for the team, and now it's time to win. So and like I said again, Long Beach was fun. I had a little scuffle with my old teammate there in my own car, which I can tell you, I was smiling in the car and laughing, and I didn't feel bad about that one at all. Corvette racing sort of has a nature of taking up prisoners, and I started last, and I wanted to get to the front. I knew our car was quick. I knew that if I could just get past some of the slower cars at the start, if I could get the car into the top five, that I could get that handed over and put ourselves in a good position. So I was going to the front. I didn't, if they got in my way, then too bad. That's sort of what happened. No, but it's a great honor to be here, to meet you guys. And I'm not just saying that because I'm here. It really is. I can tell that you guys, these cars, these Corvettes are your babies for many of you and for a lot of you. And everyone has stories about their car and everything. And I hope I can come back here in the next couple of years and I can talk about pictures on the wall and tell you stories about great races that I've had in these cars. So I'm looking forward to making some of those memories this year and in the future years. So look forward to meeting all of you. Definitely, if you see me around, if you have any questions, anything, feel free. I'm more than happy to talk about this year and years past and future, that kind of stuff. So thank you.
You heard me talk about us last Sunday being in Le Mans, and we had the 4 core drivers there. You had Dan, Ali, Olivier, and Tommy. Tommy had to go. It was optional for the other guys. Tommy had been to Le Mans twice before, but he hadn't been in the last 3 years. The rules require, if you've not been there in 3 years, that you have to show up for this test day and you have to get 10 laps in. They're French. So we did that. First guy in the car was Tommy. He went out and got his 10 laps in. We came in and then we began our test session. Well, at the end of any test day, Tommy's not going to tell you this, I am going to tell you this. At the end of any test day on any given team, out of any group of drivers, somebody had to have the fastest lap of the day. Now that's a pretty formidable bunch that he's teamed with this year. Olivier, Jan, Ali. Guess who had the fastest lap of the day? That's why I say he's plug and play. He's our future. Look at that demographic. I want to keep doing this. Exactly. Exactly. So then I'm going to open up to Q&A. Anybody have any questions? No. I might have guessed. I think that would be most appropriate. Tommy, why don't you just start out at age 1?
Well, my dad is a racing. His team is PPG. They were racing PWs in the American Le Mans Series in the U.S. here for a number of years. So I actually grew up around racing. There's pictures of me at 2 months old, 3 months old at the racetrack. So I grew up around racetracks and racing. But it wasn't until I was about 15 when I got into go-kart for the first time. I grew up, my dad never raced a car in a race in his life. I think he drove a race car once or twice. He's a pretty blunt human being, and he knew for himself that he didn't belong in a race car, and so he never pursued that. So I always associated myself more with the engineers and the mechanics in the car, because my brother-in-law is the chief mechanic for my dad's race team. so I saw myself more as, you know, the mechanic for a race team or an engineer, that kind of thing. And one Christmas he gave me as a present was a go-kart school out in California, and I didn't sort of, I would sort of see myself as a racing driver, to be honest. And so I said, yeah, sure, that'll be fun. Let's I'd love to go. So I went there, and my first 5 laps, I came in, and my dad said my smile was as big as my helmet was, you know. And so, from that point on, I took a much bigger interest in watching racing and studying sort of, races and that kind of thing. So I raced go-karts for a couple of years, and then when I was 18, I started cars, a little series called Formula BMW with a little 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 pound, not 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 pound, 120 horsepower little Formula car that was designed to sort of get kids on the go-karts started in cars. And then I started with my dad's racing for 2 years, 2004 and 5 there. I raced for my dad's team for a little bit. And then 06, I started racing for Binks in the American Le Mans Series. So at age 20, I was racing in the American Le Mans Series GT, and I've been there ever since racing. I've raced with Binks, I've raced Porsche, BMWs the last 2 years, and now I'm here with Corvette. And now I feel like I belong sort of, in the series. Like I've got some really, really great teammates. Guys that I think they've all at least driven a Formula 1 car at one point. Some of them obviously raced a Formula 1 car. So I'm in some, I've learned from some really great drivers, and this series is no different. I mean, I already learned just from looking at data and talking to my co-drivers, Jan and Oliver and Olivier, learned a lot from them. And I don't sort of model my driving style after anybody, but I definitely take bits and pieces of all the guys I've driven with, and sort of try to use their best traits and try to put it into my own driving. So that's my brief history in racing.
I think it's fair to say that Tommy's I've known Tommy Dead for a long time, and it's very fortunate that Tommy inherited all his mom's DNA. and his dad feels very fortunate about that too, because I think they produced a wonderful son. Another question? Yes.
Share with us